Racism still exists today because of ignorance. But before we continue on this video, I want you to ask yourself if you are a racist or not. Because we do not know that sometimes we are becoming racist on our friends without any idea that we are hurting their feelings just because their color is different from our color or their race is different from our race. And now I'm going to show you how worst racism could be.
Whatever f***ing Asian country you belong in.
Okay. You're not from here, you Asian.
You don't know a damn thing. Go back to China where you belong.
See? How rude for them to say those words. Those words like, go back to whatever fucking Asian country you're from. And you're Asian, you do not belong here. You don't know a damn thing. You should go back to China where you belong. It doesn't even make sense for them to say it. I'm not saying that racism is all about the Americans, but we know it is globally. Even here in the Philippines, it is happening. I'm going to show it to you.
Ang masahe naman kalisis, titaklo. Sa bilangunan. Naka-insist tayo rin.
Kaya yung bayad ko.
Kuya, magbabayad kami tao naman kami, hindi kami pinasakay.
Parang isang panaginip, ayokong magising.
Naman kami pinababa, tao naman kami, pera naman ni anak niya.
Did you see that? How the conductor discriminated this one family inside this jeepney just because they are Bajau. It's discriminating them because of their race. Because they are one of the indigenous people here in the Philippines, the Bajau. I don't understand why people keep doing this thing. It's insane. Just because their skin color or their race is different from theirs doesn't mean they have the right to discriminate those people. It's like a tumor inside the body which kills the entire body slowly, just like what's happening in our society. It's killing the self-esteem of those people who's being discriminated by those people who think they are more superior than them because their color is white, their color is different from the other, their race is this and not like the other one. It's inhumane.
Filipino man who was slashed in the face with a box cutter while on the subway, and a Chinese woman who was shoved to the ground in Queens a few weeks ago.
This has to stop. Racism really needs more attention right now. People are becoming more aggressive and crazier than ever. Can't even imagine how that man feels when his face was slashed by a cutter. How on earth does those people even do that? Just because they think their race is more superior than the other races. Did you see that scar in his face here? That will scar him for his entire life. That scar will always make him remember what happened to him because of racism. Does it even make sense? It's insane to do that. You know, when you accidentally cut your finger, it hurts really much. But I can't even imagine how that man feels when his face was being slashed by a cutter, for God's sake. How on earth can you do that? My dearest brother and sister, people of the world, we must do something about this. Racism is getting out of control day by day. We need to do some action to prevent this, to prevent furthermore chaotic thing like this, I think we need to start it by ourselves. We need to teach ourselves how to act as a man. Not just being a man, but to act as one. We need to teach even the children not to do racism, not to become a racist. Once, I'm going to tell you a story, okay? There is this one little girl here in my neighborhood. When I passed by, I saw this little girl playing with the other kids. And then, when she approached the other kids to join them playing, the other kids like, ew, you're dirty. Duh, you do not belong here. Go back to where you belong. Like what the Chinese heard from the Americans in the video clip that I showed. Even the kids are becoming racist, They're discriminating the other kids because they are not the same in the state of living. Just because the other kid is living in a wealth and the other is poor, they're discriminating them. Even here, even in my school, there's a lot of discrimination and also racism. Even kids can become racist if they are misguided, if they are not being guided to the right things to do, See how those people treat that gay. Maybe he's an LGBT, he belongs to the LGBT community, but we do not have the right to discriminate them just because they are that. It's them. Who are you to judge them? We do not have the right to destroy their self-esteem, to lower their self-esteem. I know some of you can relate with me because, building self-esteem is so hard. It's so hard to create self-esteem, to be confident when you're going outside, when you're facing a lot of people. It's so hard. Even I experienced that. When you go outside, people are looking at you like you have done something wrong, like you're different from them. That's why when I'm going outside, I feel like when they're looking at me like, do I have some dirt on my face? Did I do something wrong? Is there something different on me? People, we do not have the right to destroy someone's self-esteem just because we think they're different from our perception, I believe that we are all infected by this virus. It is naive if you think you're not. Because if you think so, you're probably benefiting from this. That's why, if we want a change, we need to start from ourselves. Because that is all what we need. Change for a better future.